Man, if I don't get this tract surveyed, I'm going to have a tough time selling it the way I need to.
Hey, you know, I've got almost 20 years experience dealing with rural real estate, helping people buy and sell land and then buying and selling the land ourselves. I put my own money at risk, and a lot of times I don't get surveys. Now, there are times that I know I don't need a survey. There are times, however, you absolutely need a survey, and this is one of those times. And to be honest with you, had I been smarter years ago and know then what I know now about surveys, I'd have saved some money, and I'll explain that in just a minute. This particular property is about 162 3 acres that we bought to resell. It's just real good premium recreational property in Louisiana, and it's going to sell somewhere close to $3,000 an acre. So every acre matters on a tract like this. 2, 3, 4 acres off one way or the other, almost $3,000 an acre. That's real money. It's easier for me to make the decision when I'm uncertain about some things, or there's some room for some error somewhere that I can justify a few $1,000 for a survey. That's what I did on this tract, and I want to take you through it and show you the 3 or 4 problems that were prevented and one that was solved. What you'll see here is a roped off section that's about 162, 163 acres as a total. Now, you're going to see division line right down the middle here. Well, I had the survey out here roping off, that's my way of saying just a boundary survey, roping off the perimeter. I also had him divide the property along the section line right here so that I had 2 separate parcels, a west parcel and an east parcel, in case I ever wanted to sell them separately. In doing that, I also had him put in some points on line, here and here, here and here, here and here, as well as the 2 corners there and there, so that a person could go in there with a compass and flag from point to point to point and create a pretty straight boundary line if they ever wanted to do that there. Also in this, you'll notice that the acreages are a little bit odd. 80.6, 77.6. These should be exact 80s, but they're not. The reason being is these sections in this area are bigger than 640 acres, so each 40 is more than 40. So 2 40s is more than 80. So I don't have an 80 here and an 80 here. They're going to be off just a little bit, and I'll explain why. But at almost $3,000 an acre, it matters how much they're off. Now notice this western parcel here. It's 80.6 acres as a half right here, 80.6, and that's with this 1.25 acre piece that's out of it. This is a common area for parking that all of these landowners right here use. This is a servitude that helps a lot of people right here, and this 1.25 acres is not part of this tract right here, and even with that, it's still 80.6 acres. Now, without the survey, I would have called this 80 minus 1.25 and ended up calling this 78.7 acres and losing 2 acres. Now at $3,000 an acre, $6,000, that more than pays for the survey. So I more than justified the survey just by that little piece right there. So that's one reason I had the survey done, is to get the exact certified acreage for each one of these parcels. And then, of course, I can just add them up if I sell the whole thing together, which I hope to do. Third thing I did was create this servitude. You'll see this up here. It's a 40-foot servitude, or if you're in a different state, an easement that gets from the common parking area here, where everybody can come down this road and park right here, unload their 4-wheelers or side-by-sides. Now a person can go across this trail right here, 40 feet wide, to get to this eastern parcel over here if I ever choose to sell it separately. Now there's a deeded access that keeps this tract from being landlocked. The fourth thing I did, and this was a little bit of house cleaning, was this right over here. Take a look on this eastern boundary. You'll see 2 red lines there. You go, what in the world is that? Well, this outside line is our tract. That's the actual boundary line for this tract. This inside line is the western boundary for this parcel over here. Years ago, I sold this tract here to a gentleman. He still owns it. And I sold him to this line right here. I sold him to the legal description for this line. But the ground wasn't marked at that time. These corners weren't marked. So I marked this line for him, but I marked it over here. I was using compass and GPS. I didn't have it surveyed. And so I honestly, I was off about 20 to 30 feet all the way down this line for a half a mile, and it turned out to be a little over 3 acres. So I ended up giving him 3 acres more than he was actually buying by marking it on the ground incorrectly. Now, if I'd just had it surveyed, it would have been marked perfectly. It would have cost a few $1,000 then, and it would have saved me having to give him 3 acres today at almost $3,000. So you can see how my being cheap years ago is resulting in costing me money today. But I'm making it right. I'm doing it the right way. This guy has been using this property up to this line that I marked for him years ago. And so for me to suddenly go in there now and say, oh no, I was wrong, it's really over here, it's going to create a problem. And life is too short to create these kind of problems. It was my fault by being cheap years ago, so I'm just gonna quit claim this 3 acres to him so that he can continue using the property up to this line right here. He's happy, he's getting an extra 3 acres, he doesn't have to move his property line, everything is cleared up, and it's all done because of this survey. Now, some of you may argue and quibble and go, no, Pat, I'd make him move his line and all. Well, okay, that's you, this is me. I made the mistake years ago. I'm not gonna upset the apple cart over $6,000, $8,000, $9,000. Just not gonna do it. It's easy to correct, everybody's happy, and now things are fixed permanently here on the ground. Solved 4 problems, and it got everything right. Get these tracts sold. Generations down the road, these corners will be in place. You don't always need a survey, but when they can solve problems for you like this, it's worth getting it done, especially if you learn what I learned, that doing it now may save you a bunch of money or heartache down the road. Hey, thanks for watching our videos. There's some more right there. Check them out.